List tables and checklist tables allow you to add multiple rows, which are similar in design to your form, without having to add them manually. This is useful when you want to collect list or similar repeating information. It is easy to add one using our wizard. Select a table and click on the table icon. Choose Add Above or Below Table depending on where you want your list or checklist table to go. Let's start by adding a list table. Let's assume you are designing a hiring form and want to get information regarding academic qualifications. Select a list name. This is the name by which your list will be saved. You can either choose a previously created list from the drop-down or make a new one. List title lets you select a title for your form. This is what will be visible above the table and serve to guide the user. Click Next to start designing your list. The design area is at the top, and a preview of how your table will look can be seen at the bottom. This updates in real time as you make changes to the fields in the design area. One field is already added by default. Click the field name to edit and change it to institution name. Select the type of field you want this to be. Let's go for a single edit field. You can click Add to insert additional fields. Let's add a few more for information you want to gather. For example, year of completion, years of study, etc. You can select the rows by clicking under the position column. These rows can now be removed or moved up or down. You can also make a field read only and hence uneditable by clicking this checkbox. The width of your text box can also be changed from here. Click Next to add your list table. You can now click on this gray box to add more rows to the table without having to redesign each of them manually. Keep adding until you have the number you want. The construction area is where you can edit your list table. It works like a regular table where you can add, remove rows and columns. The changes will be reflected in your list table for all the items. You can also add validation to these fields. For example, you can set the years of study field to be numeric. A checklist table is equally simple to set. It is similar to a list table. It is used where you want to capture information against a predefined list of items. Follow the same process as before. Just choose Checklist Table from the drop-down. You can choose to add a new checklist or choose one previously created from the drop-down. Let's create a new checklist. Add a name. Let's call it Documents. This is the generic name under which your checklist will be saved. Next, you can choose a list name, which will be specific to your form. You can either choose one from the drop-down or create a new one. Let's create a new one and call it Qualification Documents. You might not want this name showing up on your form. You can choose what to display publicly by choosing a list title. Let's select Upload the relevant documentation with your resume. Click Next to start making your checklist. Click Add to insert your checklist items. For example, you can add graduate qualification, postgraduate qualification, etc. You can add or remove items once the form is in use by using the Checklist and Drop-Downs tile. You can click on the Position column to select any row. You can now remove or move the rows up or down. Click Next to start designing your checklist table for the form. Here you can select which information you need to gather for your checklist items. For example, you might require a document to be uploaded for each. Edit the default field and rename it. This works similar to the screens where you can select a row via the Position column and either remove or move its position. You can see the preview at the bottom. Once you have completed your design, click Next to add your table to your form. Once the table is added, select which of these items you want to fill on your form by clicking the checkbox next to each of them. You are now ready to set up your list and checklist tables.